Hello and welcome to episode 125 of the HamCorp Training Manual. In this episode, we set up Mark V naqfuel fuel, wireless LSCs, and we finally start using the DTPF. naqfuel time. My goal for today is to make Mark V naqfuel-based liquid fuel. The tooltip says the end, but it is not the end. There's also the future, which is Mark VI. I can't make this one yet. Needs tier 3 coils, also needs molten Shirabon, which I don't know what this is, and it seems like I will not be able to get it for quite a while. Mark V fuel has two possible recipes. One of them uses transcendent metal dust, also needs tier 3 coils, so I cannot quite do this yet. It also needs molten Melion and molten Crayon, which I don't know what that is, but this is the better recipe. But since I can't do that, I'll be doing this one with infinity dust, atomic separation catalyst dust, and heavy redox. I did look ahead a long time ago, and that is exactly why I have not been cracking my heavy redox or my super heavy redox. This is also used in a DTPF recipe, so I will not be cracking the super heavy redox either, but I have a nice big batch of heavy redox to use for now. Besides that, I of course need Mark IV fuel. This needs molten praseodymium, Mark III fuel, Orundum, awakened draconium, nether star, and extremely unstable naqfuel dust. There are two better recipes. Both of them need hypogen, which for now I cannot make, and even if I could, it would be way too expensive to spend on fuel for now, I think. So this is the recipe I will be using. And I mentioned in the last episode that there are two ways to get praseodymium. One of them is from mining, which I will do for now, because I have a bunch of praseodymium that I haven't used yet. So I will use this up first, and then I'll set up generation as well. And that would be through thorium-based liquid fuel. This stuff needs high-density thorium, which needs wrapped thorium ingots. Basically the same thing as wrapped plutonium and wrapped uranium. But this is a lot of different inputs that are not being passively generated, besides like space elevator, I guess. So I need to set up some kind of alert system that shows me when I don't have enough inputs to make Mark V fuel. Probably just some kind of level emitter and like a redstone lamp or something. And I'll probably make like a little control room up here or something like that. I don't know, but that is the plan for now. So I'm gonna get everything together, set everything up, and then, I'm excited to see how much power I make. I now have storage monitors for all the different inputs that go into this thing. There's a lot of inputs. These two are missing channels. I need to fix that. But yeah, I pretty much have a good amount of everything, except for the high density uranium for some reason. But it is crafting now, so I think it should be fine. But yeah, well, a lot of inputs for me to keep track of. I'm pretty much just going to set up a howler alarm. As soon as any of these things get super low, I need to come investigate. It'll be a little annoying for a while, but eventually I think it'll annoy me to the point that I automate every single one of these things. Well, maybe not, who knows. Mark III and Mark IV fuel are currently crafting, and I can also make Mark V. All that's left is for the Mark IV buffer to fill so that I can actually start making Mark V. I pretty much have everything I need to get this done. So right now it's literally just a matter of waiting. In the meantime, I will keep an eye on these different things. In particular, I'm a little concerned about chromatic glass. I have a feeling this is not going to keep up with just this one laser engraver, but we'll see. I'll be back once I have Mark V fuel so we can see the power. A few more problems have shown up. Molten praseodymium. I need to generate this. For this purpose, I've set up a mixer here, which is going to generate excited state thorium-based liquid fuel. I'm going to chuck this in a neutron activator to get depleted thorium-based liquid fuel and centrifuge it. And that's how I'm going to get my praseodymium. Besides that, making high-density uranium seems to be quite painful. It's very slow. Not totally sure why. Yeah, I'll have to look into it. Similar thing with high-density thorium. Also slow. This one I know why. It's because I have to make thorium-232 dust, which is a pain. But the depleted thorium-based liquid fuel gives me thorium-232. So once I get this going, it should hopefully resolve itself. Chromatic glass is suffering, as I predicted. It's slowly going down. My Mark III naqfuel-based liquid fuel is being converted into Mark IV, which has been converted into Mark V. I need to drain, like, I don't even know when I'm going to be able to show you this. It's going to take so long for the capacity to go down. But I can tell you that with math, this generates 1.4 times 10 to the 11 EU per tick. That's 140 billion EU per tick. Just 30 minutes ago, I made 3.2 billion EU per tick. So this has gone up by almost a factor of 50. I think my power problem is solved for now, but I'm now realizing I don't think these source hatches are big enough. Yeah, each of these is 2 billion EU per tick. That is not enough. So I need to upgrade these as well. But yeah, very cool stuff. I just quickly have to get this neutron activator set up and centrifuge, and then we can continue on with the DTPF. Since I imagine by the time I'm done setting that up, this thing will be full, which means all my super tanks here will be full, which means I can get started. I don't know why I waited to fill these up, I just wanted to, and now I have, so exciting. I finally get to use the DTPF. Alright, power situation has been resolved. I think it's time I put this DTPF to use, and I sort of have a system here. I'll come back to that, because first I need to figure out how I'm going to power this thing, because it's kind of annoying using active transformers everywhere to split the power, because I always have to check that everything is powered, and I have to do like a little bit of math to make sure that everything is getting enough power. It's annoying. So what I'm going to do instead is in this little maintenance area, I'm going to put down an LSC, and I'm also going to upgrade my main power storage LSC to be able to do wireless stuff. This is only available if I have a UHV capacitor or better, but it also increases the loss a lot. So right now, my passive loss is 66,000 EU per tick. That's only 2 amps of LUV, which is perfectly fine for me. But if I upgrade to UHV capacitors, each LSC that has a UHV capacitor will now have a loss of 1,000,000 EU per tick. I'm going to have 2 of them for now. I'm not going to touch the rest of my infrastructure just yet, but that is all of a sudden a constant 2 million EU per tick drain. I think that's fine, looking at these numbers. I'm pretty much constantly using 1 billion EU per tick, so it should be a pretty small fraction. These things are expensive though. There are 2 recipes for this. I have a feeling they're equivalent, but I haven't actually checked, so let me check right now. Yes, they are indeed equivalent recipes. So I can just do it in 1 step, or if I don't want to do the scan, I can do it in 2 steps. I think I'm going to do it in 2 steps actually. So I'm going to use this recipe. I'm going to get the ultimate capacitor. This unlocks wireless transfer, and it allows 10 billion EU per tick of wireless transfer. I'll make this, and then we can look at how wireless transfer actually works. It's not constant. It's a little strange, but we'll see. To make this thing, I need a really ultimate battery, which I've made before for some other reason, which I don't remember. Oh yeah, for the DTPF controller. Anyway, I need to make 2 of these, and I also need to put down an LSC in my maintenance area, and then we'll see how this works. But real quick though, I need to make more cutting machines. 1 cutting machine is not cutting it. Since you guys like hearing about infra upgrades, this is my cutting array. It is fast, and basically what I have here is I have stocking input hatches set to each of the different grades of water, multiples of 2 because those are the ones that are needed, 2, 4, 6, 8, also 7 because I don't have 8 yet, and lubricant. Advanced stocking input buses, pulling everything that is in the subnet storage, and in the back I just have outputs going into a little output subnet just so I can save on channels, or to save on spaghetti rather, and then that goes back into my mainnet, which here is orange because I'm a dumbass. Now that I have a UHV capacitor, we can unlock wireless power for the LSC. Now the way this works is every 5 minutes, the LSC will attempt to rebalance against my wireless EU network. If there's less than 60 trillion, I think, EU in the LSC, it will withdraw from the network and add it to the LSC. If there's more than 60 trillion EU in the LSC, it will take from the LSC and add to the network. It attempts to download or upload EU every 6,000 ticks, which is 5 minutes. And now the capacity is way higher, much higher. And at this point, I'm basically just going to be constantly burning my fuel, which is weird. But I kind of don't like that. But eventually this will fill up. And also it is nice to see that I am getting my full 140 billion EU per tick from my reactors. So in a month, this will be filled up, which is crazy, but also a joke. But now I can turn on wireless mode by right-clicking with screwdriver. And once I have more than 60 trillion, which I think I already do, this is going to upload into my wireless EU network, which essentially has infinite EU storage. And if I scan the controller here, it does show me that I have some wireless EU uploaded. Upload rate is infinite, download is not. So every 5 minutes, this is just going to dump some EU into my wireless storage. Reading a little bit more about how wireless energy works, and I could be wrong here, so if I'm wrong, please let me know. But my understanding is that because the UHV capacitor has a download speed of 10 billion EU per tick, and the download happens every 6,000 ticks, what happens is it's going to download 6,000 times 10 billion every download event, which means that's effectively how much my maximum output can be with a single UHV capacitor. If I spend more energy than that for the whole 5 minutes, I will slowly be losing energy. That makes sense to me. And 10 billion is a lot, but I think I'm going to hit 10 billion use pretty soon. Maybe not constantly over 10 billion though. That might be a while. I don't know, maybe not, we'll see. And now with this second LSC, also set to wireless, this should start downloading EU at some point, every 5 minutes. I can try rebalancing it once. That didn't do anything. So I'm gonna wait a few minutes and see if this actually fills up, and I will report back. Alright, here we are. Finally got a bit of power in. I don't know why it took so long, but I think it took longer than 5 minutes. Now I can download up to 10 billion EU per tick using UHV capacitors. That is a lot of EU, and the reason this number is a weird number, 5.98 times 10 to the 13th, is because my laser source hatch has a bunch of EU in it. I think that's why. Pollution and chunk. I don't know nothing about that. But anyway, it seems like it's working. I'm still not totally comfortable with this whole wireless thing, but I guess it'll make more sense as I use it. Anyway, now I can use my DTPF. I just need to connect it, do a little bit of testing to see if my idea actually works. Then I can show it to you. So here is my DTPF automation idea. So red is mainnet, as always. Orange is subnet. I have an input hatch here for a specific recipe. These are catalysts, they're not consumed. That recipe is to make quantum anomalies. This uses unknown particles from the compact cyclotron. I have a few in storage. The orange subnet has storage for items and fluids. It has a stocking input bus set to autopull, stocking input hatch set to autopull, a fluid level emitter set to 1, emit when levels are below limit, and no filter. Because all DTPF recipes use fluids, but not all of them use items. So I'm using fluids for a specific trigger. Kissing dual interfaces, advanced blocking card, usual kind of stuff. On the mainnet here, I have a stocking input bus with infinity catalyst. I have excited dimensionally transcendent resplendent catalyst, and the outputs. These inputs will make molten infinity, which is very nice. And this is what I would like to have going all the time, unless there's something specific I want, which gets sent to the orange net, and then this level emitter turns off, which turns off a toggle bus. So these will turn off, including the outputs, which is a mistake I've just noticed. So I don't want the outputs to turn off, I just want these two stocking input components to turn off. So something like this. So when there is anything in, or specifically a fluid, when there's a fluid in the subnet, it will turn off the toggle bus, and these two components will no longer receive power, and they will turn off. Now, let's see if this actually works. So I'm just making some infinity catalyst to get this going. Ooh, cool sound. This is going, it's going a little too slow because I don't have enough infinity catalyst. That's something I'm gonna have to figure out because I want this to be on all the time, 100% uptime. That's gonna be difficult to do with this infinity recipe, to be honest, so I might use the quantum anomaly recipe instead. But the point is, I need this to be on all the time. While this is on, if I want to craft something else, I make my request, signal turns off, and my passive craft will no longer happen. At least that's how I hope it's going to work. Let me turn this off and build up a big bunch of infinity catalysts so I can actually test this. Okay, let's see how this goes. So I have this going, it's going way too fast. And if I do a quantum anomaly recipe, It does turn off just for a second, which I might have to figure out how to deal with. But once the craft is done, it resumes. After this runs for 8 hours, this might be pretty painless. I think that little interruption won't matter so much if it's been running for 8 hours, but right now, that little interruption is a bit painful. So I need to let this run for 8 hours. And the nice thing about that is it will lower the excited dimensionally transcendent catalyst consumption. This consumption is way too high. It's nice because I'm making infinity, but I think I might be providing a little bit too much power to keep up. But infinity is kind of solved now. And I'm not really too bothered about this whole 8 hours convergence thing because I don't have a transcendent plasma mixer yet, so making plasma is going to be a struggle anyway. It doesn't matter too much for me. But now that I have a bunch of infinity, I can do some stuff. Specifically, I should really make UEV component assembly line casings. So this is my next immediate goal. All stuff you've seen. The only thing that is new is molten quantum. We did it, guys. We turned quantum into molten. And this is just done in a blast melter. Nothing weird or crazy here. Germanium might be new, but I can space mine it. It's fine. Thank you for watching this episode of the HamCorp Training Manual. In the next episode, we will work on the UEV component assembly line as well as infinity coils. In the background, of course, I have continued to work on Mark IV Compact Fusion, and maybe that will be done by then. We'll see. See you next time.